Hello, YTPC. Joshua Stewart, pipe up north. I've got another codger and a corn cob and tobacco tin Tuesday here for you. And get things out of the way, housekeeping things out of the way right away. My corn cob is just a plain old Missouri Meerschaum Legend bent stem. I believe I got a Dr. Grable filter in it. And our codger today, Five Brothers Pipe Tobacco. There's an exclamation mark there, so we got to be excited. The Five Brothers, I think this is only my second bowl. I think I had a bowl right away after I got it several months ago. And then I might have had one in between there, but otherwise this is probably only about my second bowl of this stuff. And I know it's a burley forward blend, so I've been told. I don't know if it says it on the just says this pipe tobacco is manufactured from carefully selected leaf. But something a little interesting. I didn't notice it the one or two other times that I had it, but there's a little something extra in this pouch that I don't think was supposed to be in there. I don't know if you can see that. It's like a piece of string. I don't know if it shows up very good. It's maybe a foot long or a little over. My guess is probably from something that had the tobacco bound up before it went through the shredder, and it just kind of got stuck in there or left in there and made its way through the whole process somehow, because this is kind of a long, what is that, a shag cut, this stuff. It's like really fine. So there's our little string that was in there. And it's not like it was just in the top. It was like woven, well, not woven, but kind of tangled in with all these little fine ribbons of tobacco. So I'm not really worried about it, but it's just kind of one of those little interesting things that caught me a little bit by surprise. And thoughts on Five Brothers pipe tobacco? I know I'm not huge on burley, but you know, it doesn't seem too bad. I know some have said that this stuff packs a nicotine wallop as much as anything else. So have to be careful for that. So flavor isn't super strong. Kind of a, let's say kind of a typical burley. I don't think with that, is that a shag cut? I think I ought to spend some time kind of studying my different types of cuts and understand them a little bit better. But I think it's going to smoke pretty quick with that fine cut, because it's looking like I'm about half done already, and I just lit it up like right before I started or right before I turned the camera on. So probably going to run out here pretty quick. But so anyway, I'll maybe set that down and come back to it in a minute. Might as well get right to our tobacco tin. Just do a quick recap here. If you've heard it a bunch of times, you can maybe fast forward 15, 20, 30 seconds, something like that. But my mother started collecting tobacco tins back in the 70s. I think it was in the 70s. As far back as I can remember, she's been collecting them anyway, and over the years developed quite a collection. And when she moved, she gave me her collection, several dozen tins. Some of them are pretty common, you know, your Prince Alberts and Union Leaders and Velvets and Granger and, you know, all your Codgers, plus a few that are a little bit more uncommon, and some of them are somewhat valuable. But today our tin is going to be just a plain old codger tin. Although, granted, it's a pretty old one. We got velvet. And I did a little research on this one, and from what I can tell, was it pre-1917? So this is well over 100 years old. And it might be before 1912. So, there's no manufacturer name on the tin that I can see anywhere. In fact, I looked once already, but let me double check, make sure I'm not lying to you. Let's see, the side here says specially prepared for pipe and cigarette. I don't know if you can make that out or not. And the other side says perfection of blends, mild and fragrant. And that's the front side, just velvet tobacco. And the back is the exact same. There may have been something on the top, but it's not there anymore. Oh, wait, I found something. Spalding and Merrick, Chicago, Illinois. Let me pause you for a second. That rings a bell. All right, I knew that rang a bell. So the Spalding and Merrick, yeah, from Chicago, Illinois. They made velvet, from what I understand, doing my 5 minutes of internet research, prior to 1911. So that means that this tin is probably before 1911, and then Liggett and Myers took it over after that. So yeah, we're 113, 14 years old. Oh yeah, this tin it's not perfect shape, but it displays nice. Got a few scratches on it, not terribly rusty. Say the top, there's remnants of a price tag. I thought I saw, well, maybe that was a different tin that I saw a price tag on, but there might have been some writing on that lid that is all worn off. And nothing on the inside. Doesn't have that shiny tin or zinc plating, whatever it is, on there anymore. So this is probably used to store, washers or screws or something at one time. Wore off all that plating on the inside. So yeah, interesting. So to set that up over on the shelf, and been wanting to get a shelf made to kind of better display the tins back there, but haven't gotten to that yet. I was going to do another little woodworking project in the wood shop. My shop here is kind of turning into more of a storage shop rather than an actual working shop. Got my workbench here that I can do a little bit of stuff on, but I think we're, is it 16 by 24, so basically a single stall garage is what I got here. When I built the garage in 2009, I had plans that I would keep this part heated year-round, or climate-controlled, heated, and then cooled in the summer, which I still do. And then be enough room to drive a car in to do work on it if needed. But then I got another workbench kind of. I got a workbench right here, kind of in the middle of the garage, and then I got, you know, workbench along the wall, kind of behind the camera and stuff too. So there's not really room to get a car in here anymore. So any car repairs I do, I have to do them in the garage part, which generally keep that heated at about 45 degrees in the winter, just enough to melt the snow off the vehicles and stuff. But with our cold weather the last couple of days, I'm recording this late on Monday night, so it'll go live on Tuesday morning. But Monday, I think we had a daytime high temperature of like 14 or 15 below today. I think it's 20 below or something, 20, 21 below, 22. I haven't even looked at the thermometer lately, but it's cold out. And I got in-floor heat in here. 2 zones, one zone for the workshop here and one zone for the main garage part on the other side of the wall there. And when it gets this cold, my electric boiler for the in-floor heat it can't quite keep up. So normally I keep it at about 62 in here, and like I say, 62 here and about 45 on the other side, and my boiler's not keeping up. Now granted, we've got it set up on an off-peak heat, and our utility provider, I think has it set up for 3. It kind of rotates 3 different circuits for the off-peak, and so the circuit that my electric boiler for the shop here is on, or for the whole garage building. So when it gets bitter cold like this, it gets controlled, so it's only running 2/3 of the time, and it just can't keep up. So it's been, I got home from work and I think it was 54 in here, so which is just a little bit on the cool side for me to work without at least a sweatshirt or heavier flannel or something. Or I guess if I'm actually working, I can work comfortably in the long sleeve shirt like I got on now, but if I'm sitting here watching videos for a little while or making a video, 54, 55 degrees is just too cold. So I brought out one of the little kerosene space heaters. I've got a electric, like a job site heater, but that kind of defeats the purpose of having the off peak, because that's on an uncontrolled circuit. And I mean, yeah, I could do it and run it and it would work fine, but the purpose of the whole off peak thing is to lighten the load, so things can get managed a little bit better, and it gives me a little bit better rate. But if I'm using an electric heater, I'm still using the same amount of electricity. I'm just paying higher for that couple hours that I'm using a high powered electric heater. But, oh well. I'm sure it's more expensive to run this little kerosene. I got one of these antique Perfection, I think it's a 525 kerosene heaters that, you know, it's nice for a situation like this. It just kind of takes some of the edge of the coolness off in here. I've had this heater going for well, I started it when I got home from work earlier this evening, and I don't know how long it ran. Not very long, and it ran out of fuel because I didn't fill it up. So it didn't really heat up anything in here. But once I got it going, it's been going now for an hour or two maybe since I got out here, and we're up to 63. Must have my thermostat set at 64 because it sounds like the circulation pump is still running. But it's basically got it up to a comfortable temperature in here in an hour and a half, something like that. So oh, the garage is insulated pretty well, but I don't have as much as I would like to be considered well insulated in the ceiling, because I've got a room and attic up above, so I could only fit the 10 inches of insulation, where they recommend to be fully insulated having, what is it, like 25 or 30 inches in this part of the country for ceiling attic insulation. But then I'm sure you've noticed other times I got the recessed can lights, and I'm sure they allow some cold infiltration from the attic or heat loss from in here. Be interesting to get a thermal camera in here sometime and see what it actually looks like. Yeah, I'm looking at the controller on the wall right now, and the boiler is being controlled right now, where the water or whatever it is in the boiler, it's or the antifreeze, whatever it is in there, is still circulating, but it's just not being heated as it goes through the boiler. But the house, in spite of, like I said, we've got electric heat in part of the house, which that's on the same off-peak control as the electric boiler in here, so they're kind of cycling on and off. So, but they're with our natural gas boiler that we have that runs the main floor, the house is staying pretty comfortable. So I was a little bit worried because it was I don't even know what the wind chills were today. And if we had a daytime high, like I said, in about 14 or 15 below, and probably a 25 mile an hour winds. It was not fun to be outside today. But we're actually pretty sheltered from a north wind, so. But then I think tomorrow the wind is supposed to switch from the south, and even though it warms up usually the day that that south wind comes, the house is gonna get cold, just because for whatever reason it's always cold when we get a south wind. So anyway, we're trying to stay warm, kind of lose some motivation to do stuff. When it gets bitter cold like this, and I was going to do some woodworking on the table saw and stuff in the garage part, but that part, like I said, the thermostat is set at 45 and it's about 33 in there right now, so. And I don't like to do that kind of work wearing a jacket, so I'll just wait for another day. But well, back to this Five Brothers pipe tobacco. I am getting a little bit of that nick hit that everybody talks about. And this is, these little Legends aren't really the hugest bowl in the world, so. I think it's probably a good thing it's just about done. Though it tastes well enough, I wouldn't mind if it would last quite a bit longer as far as that goes, but. I think we're about done. If there was much more than what there is here, yeah, that would maybe leave me feeling not so pleasant. Not really any bite to speak of with the Five Brothers pipe tobacco. Yeah. So, not bad. I can see where some of the guys that maybe are chasing that nick hit, why they might like this a little bit. And well, maybe give one more update here before I call it good here. Did have another bowl of that Van Gogh. If you watched my last video, I was pretty lukewarm on it. But I know from experience that, not that I've got a lot of experience. Keep in mind, I've only been enjoying a pipe for less than 2 years, but probably less than a year and a half for that matter. But I know I've learned that if you don't like it right away, try it again another time. And I would say the bowl that I had this evening, I definitely enjoyed more than the first bowl that I had whatever day it was a couple days ago. Saturday. Yeah, Saturday I had that first bowl. I don't think that video actually made it live until wee hours of the morning on Sunday or something, but just didn't have a chance to get it uploaded and stuff, so. Because I got a repeater for my internet for the Wi-Fi out here. Sometimes that repeater, especially for uploads, is really slow. So then I usually like to watch it myself at least once before I make it live, just make sure that the audio is working and all that stuff. So, and got my hours and hours of editing and stuff that I do. So, but yeah, second bowl I definitely enjoyed more than the first, and I'm looking forward to having another bowl here sometime. I don't know if I will after this or not, but I'll maybe have another bowl tomorrow. It seems like it had a little bit more of a noticeable aroma on the pouch note too, so. I thought I was done, but I'm still getting just a little bit out of here. So with that, I think I'll let you all go. Happy Tuesday, and we'll see you all in the next one. Joshua Stewart, Pipe Up North. Have a good day.